Hey pals, Paige the Framer here. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is episode 23 of my podcast. So welcome. If you've never been here before, just to fill you in, I own Frame and Fiber, which is a picture framing and yarn shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And on this channel, you will see a lot of things that happen there. A lot of knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving, picture framing, knitting. Did I say that already? Yes, lots of knitting. You'll also see some of the things that happen just on a weekly basis here with me. Trips that I take to visit family members, trips that I take to go visit yarny people, the beach, hiking, that sort of stuff. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. If you would like to find out more about the things that I talk about, you can follow me on social media as Paige the Framer on Instagram, Ravelry, and Periscope. And for this podcast, I have a Ravelry group, which is called Friends of Frame and Fiber. So check that out. So the 3-color cal that I've been hosting with Liz Zimmerman of the Just One End podcast is wrapping up this Friday, June 15th. So if you've been knitting along with us, please post pictures of your finished objects in the thread on Liz's group page on Ravelry, the Just One N group page on Ravelry. That is where you will post for your entry into the grand prize drawing. And also, if you bought your yarn from my shop, that entitles you to an entry as well, even if you didn't finish your project. So take a picture of that and just make sure you let us know that you bought the yarn from me, and that's your either your only entry or your second entry if you also finished an object. So yeah, join us. It's gonna be great. Or it's gonna be great. It's gonna be over on Friday. So let me think. Anything else I want to tell you about that? No. The grand prize is one of my fabric wrapped mats. And you can also see a picture of that, I think on Instagram as well. I have a picture there, so you can check that out. It's a really cool prize, if I don't say so myself. So in this first segment, you'll see just a short video of Miller and I with Gigi and Shelby. Gigi is Gay Glaspie, and she is known as Gigi Made It all across the interwebs, and she came down to my shop to do a video which references some questions that she had asked of her followers on Facebook, all about different experiences in yarn shops. And so she wanted to come down and address some of the questions, or actually the answers that she received, and we just did a couple short little skits, but it was fun to be with her and hang out with her. I'm going to link below to all of that information, so you can find Gigi, so you can see that video, and so you can find those questions. And then also you're going to see Knitting on the Beach from last week, which was so lovely. I cannot wait for you to see it. So it's going to be a short segment, but enjoy.
So this is Paige's lovely, lovely place, and that's the lovely Paige.
I'm videotaping you.
She's taping me, tape her. So.
What you doing, Shelby?
I was like, you making me straight.
Because it, you know, it was driving you nuts that it wasn't straight.
And this was too.
Look at all those messy yarns right there.
It's fine. It's cool. Yeah, okay.
Is it rain? Not where I am. Hi.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Paul Miller and the girls.
Yes. And his girls. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry.
Babe, go give Shelby Monet some love.
More love?
Look at you too.
Look, because hugging Paul Miller is a thing.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes, I spy
I got
Paul
my own
Miller.
hashtag.
Right.
That's right. Hey pals, I am beach knitting. Well, I'm not knitting, I'm walking, but we're here. It's Tuesday night and we are doing our thing. Mindy and Mary are here and I have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So we are going to sit and knit and just have a really good time. I am excited. I'm always excited. Paige Miller will make fun of me for saying that. Oh my gosh, I give Miller so many ways to make fun of me. So, alright kids, the water's coming up. There's no way it's warm enough for me to put my feet in yet. See you next time, bye. So this next segment, I'm very excited to introduce you to Yolanda, who is a friend of mine. Miller and I left on Thursday morning to drive down to North Carolina to visit my stepdad, and Yolanda lives in North Carolina as well. So we got to visit with her and have lunch and do a small kind of like an interview with her. She is a crochet artist, she is a fiber enthusiast, and she makes custom-made dolls. So I hope you enjoy getting to know her and hearing a little bit about her story, and I will link to all of her information below as well so you can check her out and learn more about her. So I will catch you guys at the end of that interview. Hey pals, Paige Miller and I are in North Carolina. We left the house at, what time did we leave this morning? Like 4. We left at 4 and we are now right outside Raleigh. We are about to meet my friend Yolanda for lunch. I'm very excited. This will be the first time.
Excited.
All right. Hey pals. PaigeTheFramer here with Yolanda Jordan.
Hey.
Can I say it?
Yes, absolutely.
So this is Yolanda. She crochets. She specifically crochets brown dolls with natural hair inspired hairstyles.
You got it down.
Yes! Did I do natural good? Oh my gosh.
She's got it down. She knows me so well.
Confession here. When you're on Periscope talking, I try to talk like you all the time.
How do I talk though? How?
You guys?
I'm serious. How do I talk? I need to hear it. Do your best Yolanda impression.
No, I can't. Well, I just said natural hair inspired hairstyles.
That is me. That is me.
You do. So this is Yolanda. We met on Periscope.
We did.
She is the creator of My Pretty Brown Doll.
Dessert.
See, we should have got dessert.
It's all dessert. I was like, wait, what is that?
Whipped cream goodness.
Okay. Back. We're back.
Yes. So, My Pretty Brown Doll and mycrochetlife.com.
Yes. Both of those places.
Yes. My Pretty Brown Doll is her custom doll, and you sell your patterns through My Pretty Brown Doll as well,
I do.
Okay.
Yes, all patterns through My Pretty Brown Doll. So.
And then My Crochet Life. I didn't know the tagline for My Crochet Life, and the other day I described it as like you're kind of like a business coach for creative business
that
owners.
works. Yeah,
Exactly.
I just say a behind the scenes look at my crochet life.
There you go.
There you go.
But she runs classes and workshops and boot camps. I'm in one of your boot
Yes,
camps
the
now.
accountability boot camp.
Yes.
Where we're holding ourselves accountable for quarter 2, 2018. How's that going?
Good. Look, I'm filming. This is good. This is part of business. Look at this.
Podcast is going good.
And you saw I took a picture to post on Instagram.
You did. With not only Mini Mia, but
Franny. Are you so glad you brought her so you can see her
I am
again?
so glad. Did you see she was my post today on Instagram?
She was? I did not see it.
She was my throwback Thursday.
I've been driving since 3:30. It was
But
4 o'clock this morning.
she has all her tools on my post.
Yeah, all
She
of her
has a
tools
saw
are. She has a
and
little
a
drawer to
hammer.
herself at the shop. She has this
Yeah.
tiny little drawer.
Do they love her at the shop?
They love her at the shop. The little girls see her and I'm like, oh. I give them Bella to play with because I'm like, oh, Bella, you can play with because she doesn't. I don't want her messed with.
Delicate.
Do not mess with Franny.
And Franny should be working. Like
Earn your keep, Franny.
Exactly. You should be working. Are you working? Like I did not send you there to sit on your laurels.
No, she's so good. She's a greeter. All right, so can you tell me a little bit about how you started My Pretty Brown Doll? That's what you started first, right? Not My Crochet Life.
Yes, so My Pretty Brown Doll came first. And actually it started, that's a good question, because I was not making dolls at first. At first I was making hats and scarves. I was don't get it twisted crochet. And so dolls really weren't even on my radar at all. Like I hadn't even thought about making a doll. And then I saw one in the Simply Crochet magazine. And I was like, oh, you've never made one, you should try it.
Right.
And I picked brown yarn because I'm a brown girl.
Yeah.
That was the only reason. I posted her up and everybody.
Green or purple. Is that how you see yourself?
Is that how you see yourself? Which is okay if that's how you see yourself, but it's not how I see myself. So I posted her up and everybody just kind of went ooh wow. They was like, oh my gosh. And so she was little brown doll, had on a tutu, if that's what you want to call it. It was some tool that I just kind of wrapped around some string because I had no clue what I was doing. And a little piece of gauze wrapped around her top. Like, I seriously did not know what I was doing. And like, they were just like, oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I absolutely love it. So I was like, oh, well, I'll make a few more. And I did, but I was still don't get into this crochet because I was still like, listen, these hats and scarves are selling.
Wait, and so were you just making the dolls as gifts for friends? Like,
Well,
is that what you were...
yeah, because I didn't think they were good enough.
Right, right. How long ago was this?
This was in 2014.
Oh.
So 2014. And then I sold one to a friend. My first doll, I sold it for $50. I was like,
you gave it away for $50.
I did. I gave it away for $50. I was like, here you go. And then I thought I was really doing something because I bumped up to $60. I was like, oh, there's $60 now.
It only took me 60 hours to make.
There's $60. And so in 2015, I had took a position at a hospital and I was like, okay, I stopped crocheting altogether. I was like, I'm not crocheting. It's okay. This hospital has all my attention, so I'm not going to crochet anymore. And then 2016, I was like, I don't want to work at the hospital anymore. I was like, and so now you need something to supplement your income. And it was January, but I didn't want to do the hats and scarves. Like I was just like, we're gonna do dolls, we're gonna focus on dolls, and we're gonna make these dolls. And My Pretty Brown Doll was one.
Wow.
And the idea behind the name was this idea, for me, we don't always look in the mirror and see pretty. Like it's like, oh, you're cute, oh, your hair is nice, oh, but never like, oh, I'm pretty.
The overall, like
just your overall
right.
just seem pretty. Because, and I, you know, because I don't want people to think, oh, that's all we're thinking about is how we look, but that is what you see. Like when you look in the mirror, that's the first thing you see. When people see you, that's the first thing they see. Until you open up your mouth or until you have a conversation with them, they're not judging your character or, you know, saying, oh, she's smart or she's caring. Like they don't know you. It's what you look like. And so for me, it was no matter what you look like, I need you to know that your brown skin is pretty.
So that's where your why started. Like,
Yes.
I know obviously from knowing you, like where you moved to and what you're doing with it, but I didn't realize it was literally you looking in the mirror and being like,
Yes. And it's like, because people, you know, the truth of the matter is when I walk into a room, they see a fat black woman. It's like, that's and I'm just like, that's who they see.
and it's beautiful, right?
But that, you know, we don't always tell ourselves that.
Right.
And so my whole thing is whether you're a little girl, because now my dolls, I do tend to sell more to adult women than I do to children.
Right.
And I think that is because adult women understand where I'm coming from as well. Because even when I make them like Franny, like when I make them like this, she's not, I don't even see her as a little girl. She's more of a teenager.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's not.
Like, she's, you know, and even with Mini Mia, if you guys, you know, those who follow me and know Mini Mia and see Mini Mia, that is not a little girl. That's
no.
grown.
Let's put Mini Mia, let's see. I'm using my new camera.
Mini Mia is not a little girl.
How do I get this to
all this personality, and I think that that's what people connect with. And so when adult women see them, they're reminded of that personality.
Well, I think, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, you make them for people to specific specifications too, so they get custom to pick like what they see
in themselves. And I really like that part of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like when somebody says, oh, do this with purple, or have her a crop top, or I want a really full skirt, I'm thinking to myself that this is how this person sees themselves.
Yeah, themselves. That's
exactly.
Cool.
Like, and when they send me a picture, they always make sure they send me the picture of their best self.
Yeah.
Like, and so I really
not right out of like bed with their hair.
Exactly. It's just like, no, make sure you capture this me. And I'm like, I got you. And the ones I do make for little girls, it's you know, same thing though. I still want to capture their personality, or you know, who I think they might be.
Right.
Like, so I try to make sure that I put a little bit of that into the doll.
That's so cool. I love, well, and I think part of it too is that creaking behind you is Paul Miller.
Try not to creep.
I think too, like, I mean, I guess some people would buy handmade dolls for children, but for me, like, this is like an artist made this.
Yes. Yeah, and I make it very clear when I sell them that, you know, it is like they can do tea parties, but they are really meant to kind of just sit and remind them, and to be a reminder of who they are, and to kind of just be cute and have a little personality.
So cute.
Yeah, so bad. No, you're not bad, me. Let me not call her bad.
Yeah.
She's sassy. She's got some attitude.
Franny doesn't have attitude.
No, Franny.
She's a sweetheart.
I made sure that I told Franny, I was like, Franny, don't you embarrass me. You go to New Jersey and you give them that southern hospitality. You act like you came from North Carolina.
She's so sweet. Definitely, yes.
You greet people, good morning, welcome to Franny.
So guys, this is Franny, which I've shown you guys, but Franny's here with her maker, her creator. And I just want to like show you guys a little bit, which I can't show you all because I don't, do you notice her shoes are not on her feet?
Yeah, her shoes.
She has pink sneakers. Poor Franny clearly is being neglected in New Jersey because she left without shoes on.
You came all the way to North Carolina with no shoes, Franny. No shoes.
I keep wanting to get pink Converse so I can match her too, by the way. So it will happen. Okay, so Yolanda made her for me. And I didn't request, I just said do what you will. And she made her this apron to match my aprons at the shop, because you glitzed hers up a bit.
Yes, just a little bit.
And she came with tools. But what I thought was the most like you paying attention to me, not just what I do for a living, but me, are the earrings, which I don't know if I can get this to, to see them. Let's see. Okay, there they are. There they are. These little because I hike, and you put those leaf earrings
I was
in there.
like, you know, remind you of the being outside and hiking.
That was just like so sweet and thoughtful.
Well, and I did make them like, now normally they're not removable. Like normally I will cut the post off and make sure that they don't come off. Yeah, and so I was like, you can switch them out. I was like, just in case you're like, look, Franny.
Look, Franny.
I like your earrings, but.
And yes, she does have pockets on her little butt.
Yeah. Trying to get pockets on her little jeans.
So sweet.
Because this is the jean jaune.
Oh, that's
by Lion Brand. That's the jean jaune. And then that's Karen Simply Soft.
Sparkly.
Yeah, the party.
So I just, they're really cool that you just make them individual for each person.
Yes. And see, and I like when she was like, you know, just make the doll and not had a whole lot of requests. Like, I kind of like both. I like knowing exactly what they want and making sure that I do those things. But then because we knew each other on Periscope, I was just like, oh no, I can really capture, you know, her personality.
And for me, I was buying a My Pretty Brown doll.
Yes.
Like, I wanted what you, like, it wasn't about me for this one. It was about like, I love what you do, I love why you do it, and so I want to support that. And so I wanted one of a piece of art from you, which and for me was like
that. And so if y'all don't know, the Afro Puffs are kind of my thing. So the two Afro Puffs, like, now I'll do, as Paige introduced me, any natural hair, it's my hairstyle. But we really, like, I'm really known for the Afro Puffs. My most popular pattern has the Afro Puffs. We have the Afro Puffs keychain. So
I mean, because look how cute that is.
When she was like, oh, you know, do what you want to do. At first I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't give her Afro Puffs. And I was like, it's a My Pretty Brown doll.
So
she should definitely
it's
have
funny
Afro
that you say that, because after I had said, no, I want you to do whatever you want. I really want you to be creative. I want to be, part of me was like, maybe I should call her and be like, but I really want Afro Puffs, because please give me Afro Puffs.
I did think about it. I was like, maybe I should do something different with the hair. I don't know. And then I was just like, she's getting Afro Puffs.
So
it's a My Pretty Brown doll.
Yes, exactly.
Get Afro Puffs.
She's the cutest. I love her so much. I had another question and now it just went out my brain. This music is going to ruin it for YouTube, because it'd be like copyright infringement, infringement. Freaking YouTube.
No, because we're talking over it.
Right, we're talking over it.
Yeah, so they won't really,
Oh my gosh.
What was the
doll
question?
Making Franny. Crap. Alright, so we went through what you do. Went through, well, you didn't do all of why you do it, right?
Well, that's the main reason. So then the other part for me, so I guess if you want to know how my Crochet Life came up, like, so for me it became, so there's also this part of it that is, how can I put it, I'm really big on making sure that women, particularly women of color, are recognized in the fiber community. Like, that's a big deal for me. Because when I started making dolls, brown dolls, they were so, I was just like, where are we? where are we? But then when I just started looking in the crochet fiber community as well, like, I'm part of these groups, and so I know we're out there and we're doing this. But when you look at like who are the go-to people, you do not see a lot of women of color. Like, at the top of my head, like
in the magazines,
on the blogs, like, so. Like, when I look at certain blogs and like who they say are their bloggers, I'm just like, y'all can find one, just one, to get a different perspective, because there is a different perspective. Like, I know we all love fiber arts. Like, me and Paige connected over this
because of fiber arts.
Because of fiber arts. And so it's not to exclude anybody or not to say that one is better than the other, but we all have a different perspective. And I think that ours is getting lost in the shuffle, and I don't really think I think it's twofold. I think part of it is us saying, oh, I'm not going to do that, or I don't want to be a part of that, or I'm not going to share this. And then another part of it is, and because of that, then we're not seen. Not seen. And so I make a big deal of making sure that you put yourself out there, and that they see you, and that so that way, if it becomes oh, well, we didn't know that this was a possibility.
But now you know.
Well, now you know. Yeah, now you know.
Right.
And so I make a big deal about that.
Right.
And I talk about it, and I'm just like, hey, why aren't you here?
Right.
I urge us to release patterns.
You guys were noticing quality difference? It's because I ran out of space.
On the fancy camera.
On the fancy camera.
So now we're on her fancy phone.
Now we're back to my phone. Okay, so we were talking about rats. I wish I could.
Patterns. So
yes, patterns.
that was Mr. Miller.
Oh my gosh.
That's my new husband.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Oh, such a weirdo.
But we were, so what I was saying about patterns, so I'm a huge advocate of particularly women of color. Like if you have an idea for something, to release the pattern. I know we think, somebody's gonna steal it and take it.
And they probably will.
They probably, but
not everybody.
Release the pattern. Please.
Release the pattern.
Release the pattern. Put yourself out there. Let people know who you are. And I'm so excited to see some of those things happening, like Aniqua being at Aniqua of my kind of theme, being a guest speaker at Nitty City for
and
one of their
her pattern being in,
and her pattern being in Simply Crochet magazine, and most recently Mnit's being on the news.
Wait, what?
Yes. Oh, you didn't see? Oh my gosh. So Mnit's of Lynn, her name is Emily,
yes,
of Mnit's was on the Parenting 411 and the Bronx, New York news, talking about her dolls and why she makes dolls. Yes. How exciting is that?
That's cool.
And so when I see things like that, like I celebrate like it's me, because I do feel like that.
Exciting.
I'm just like, oh my God.
So, because it's a win.
Exactly.
Like even if it's not, I mean,
exactly.
Listen, if you're our friend and you win, it's my win.
It's my win. And so I'm like super excited about those kinds of things, because I'm just like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And these things are happening because we're not shying away and saying, oh, I'm just gonna be over here in the bubble. And social media makes it so much easier.
And it's easy for us to be in the bubble.
It is.
Get out and everyone. This is not just like every type of anything you can possibly think of. We're all in some bubble, and we need to just not be in it.
And not be in
At least not in it all the time.
Yeah, that part. Because I get it.
You gotta,
trust me,
it's
I get
comfort.
it.
The reason why we're in our bubbles is because it's comfortable.
I totally get being in the bubble, but I promise, my thing is there's somebody who needs to hear or see your perspective. Okay. And if you are in your bubble, refusing to share it, like just from my scope today, like I said, the people that we met, I was just like, wow.
Well, you and me, like, so I don't know if you guys can tell, she's a black woman, I am a white woman. So I would like to put this out there, right? I am represented. As a white woman, I look at magazines, commercials, ads, any place, there's representation. I never even knew to call it representation, because also that would be white privilege right there. But like, to not know that, you know, like, who knows? Talking with you and getting to know my ladies of color, specifically my ladies. Like,
your ladies.
You are mine.
That's right.
But like, and really understanding representation is not a black issue. It's not a red issue. It's not a yellow issue. It's an issue.
It's an issue.
And
it's
so
just an issue.
If you just see it like that, I start seeing things. Like I was reading an article in Taproot magazine, and now I can't remember the woman's name, and I'll send it to you. Okay. But I was all excited because it was a black woman whose story behind her making her entrepreneur, and I'm like, representation. Like I was really excited about that. I'm like, because it's now that I'm aware, that you've made me aware, it's now I notice. And I think that's all it has to be. Is it's not this like big huge teams of all the people. It's like once you notice and you care.
Not this, oh, I'm better, or she's better, or I'm excluding, or this person is excluding. Because I don't ever, I think sometimes
people take it personal.
You know, when I say my pretty brown doll, they might think, oh, okay, well, I can't be a part of this. And I'm so glad Paige didn't feel that way, because Paige found me on Periscope.
And I'm so glad you didn't think, oh, let's not put Afro Puffs because what? Maybe she would want one? No!
No, but it was because Paige found me, and I was talking about a Blackish episode.
Right, which is like, remember how, babe, how did she make me cry?
Yeah, we were talking
like,
about a Blackish episode. I was on Periscope.
Which, hello, white people, you need to watch Blackish.
Black people, you need to watch Blackish. All the people watch Blackish. Everybody watch Blackish. No, but it was the episode where it was her daughter's birthday, and the lady had given her a white doll, and then they were going to try to find a black doll. It was a huge deal not being able to find one. And Paige came on the scope, and I was just like, oh, who's this lady? And you know, I called her PaigeTheFramer because that's what it's like. Hey, how are you doing? And I called her PaigeTheFramer for a long time until I realized Yolanda, you know, hooked on phonics.
I think you're like, does that say framer?
I'm like, what? And then I kind of put it together. I was like, oh, it's a frame shop. I got it. It makes sense.
She's not a farmer.
She's not a farmer. No. But the fact that Paige was not like, you know, didn't say, oh, I'm not going to watch this because she's talking about this. Just opened up a whole new window, because you have given me some different perspectives on
That's
things.
because we were out of our bubbles together.
Exactly.
Like, that's
and
the
so
whole thing.
I listened to
It's that
Paige
chart.
and I watch, and I'm just like, oh wait, I didn't even think about it that way.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, that's a different way to look at it. That's a different perspective.
And I think that's it. If we all realize we have different perspectives. You're smarter than me. Remember when you were in school and there's those charts and they cross like this, and then that middle part, it's like,
it's the middle part.
That middle part, like you've got your bubble, I've got my bubble, and if we just do this,
and
we don't have to do this.
Yeah,
it's like that.
Because there is that section where they cross over, and you're like, and it doesn't mean that we all have to agree on absolutely everything. Because even with other women of color, I don't always agree. I'm just like, I'm not in agreement.
Oh, please, you can't agree with anyone. Like that has nothing to do with, like,
you know, team magic ring versus team chain for
Team Magic Ring.
Team Magic Ring all day. Like, what is a chain
You can
for?
chain for all you want.
No,
people.
You cannot. It doesn't work.
Magic Ring.
Team Magic Ring. So, but you know, we can disagree. We can just say, look, you do what you do, it works, and I'm gonna do what I do, it works, and then we'll still meet somewhere in the middle. So,
I think the whole thing is, and this is like a lot of different things, but this subject in particular, I feel like once you build a relationship with someone, you can then have conversations and understand where each other are coming from.
Exactly.
But you can't do that. You can't have real heartfelt conversations with people you don't know.
No,
like, it's just not possible.
And if you're not willing to get to know them, or you're just saying, oh no, I'm just gonna do this, or you know, if you just pretend like, oh, there is no color issue, or there is no, you know, race issue. What? Where? What bubble are you living in?
That's the thing. Like, even if we were all the exact same color, with the exact same color hair, the exact same color eyes, the exact same weight and height, there would still be prejudices, because that's how it goes. And we need to just dive in together and
have the conversation
and be together.
And I'm so glad that you decided to have with me.
You're the cutest. Well, who wouldn't? You're the cutest.
I know. And can y'all tell that I had on my Monday voice for this? Because we're in a restaurant.
We're in a restaurant.
So that's the only reason I had my Monday voice on.
It's a quiet restaurant, though. There's no one here to interrupt or to mess with.
Exactly. But as soon as we get outside.
Anything else you want to, like, plug with my Crochet Life?
No.
Because you haven't mentioned also how you like to coach people.
I do. So, and I don't talk about the coaching often because I am very work oriented. And I realize that some folks are not ready to do work.
Are you talking about me?
No.
Okay, good.
Not at all.
I was like, oh no,
not at all.
Because remember, I did the whole posting on the social media.
You're working. You're working. But there are people who I think sign up for the consult and they want, oh yeah, you're doing great, and just keep doing that. Yeah, it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that.
She will. Well, you call it the hot seat. She will put you in the hot seat.
And I will, you know, basically say, look, do you want this or not? It's a really, you know, can I curse on you?
Go for it.
So shit on Get Off the Pot. Which one are you doing today?
Ooh, Yolanda!
Ooh.
Is anyone here?
It's one of those things. And so if you're not ready for that, or if you're not that type of person that can handle that, because I know everybody can't handle that, then don't do a consult with me. But if you are ready and you really want to see some type of growth in your creative biz, or you want me to just kind of figure out, you know, hey, if you do this or try this, this might work, then have a consult with me. But you have to be ready to do the work, because there are actionable steps. Like when the call ends, there are things that you're actually going to have to do. Like you're going to have to go do some work. And so I just find that sometimes people...
And she will ask you about it.
Yeah.
Because she asks me. So I'm in one of your accountability boot camps right now. And I will tell people, like anyone watching, if you are thinking of opening a creative business, or you already have and you need some help, she's a great one for that. You really are. I've owned a business for 15 years. Well, and I still, like, I need to.
I actually shedded a tear when you signed up. I was crying. It's like, oh, did Paige just sign up? I called Nicole. I said, we might not do this. She was like, what? I said, you know, Paige signed up. And I don't know why she signed up.
You know why? Because this is why. It doesn't matter how much experience you have, or you think you have because you've been in business for how long, or you make this much money. You can't do this. You can't do life. You can't do business by yourself. Like you need someone who, if you don't have a boss, you need someone in your life speaking to you like they're the boss. Like you need someone to say, hey, you said you're going to do this week and you didn't. So
what's going on? And so, but no, and can I just also say this, even with the accountability
it's so
group,
worth the money, people.
It is us holding ourselves accountable, but for everybody that's in there, I have learned something new and something about my business. And that last call that we had, where it was just like me and I think Tara. Me, you and Tara, that one, I was just like, there were so many eye-opening things, because as Paige said, she's been in business for 15 years. Been in business for, it'll be a year, July 1st.
Wow.
And the fact that we
full-time for a year
talked about, when you were talking about how the consistency thing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's somebody who thinks like me and does the same thing that I do. And so no, I'm not crazy.
No, and that's the consistency is extremely hard, especially when you work for yourself and there's no one behind you saying, hey, you weren't consistent this week. Like, all right, well, this week's a wash, I'll try next week. No,
do next week. Or that whole, oh, I made this much money, so I ain't got to.
Well, see, but that with you, I'm learning, like, when you were talking about looking at the numbers as much as you do, I'm like,
yeah. Oh, did you know I have a new challenge? So I have a $100 a day challenge.
I saw that.
Oh gosh,
guys,
I like
you need to
myself.
follow this. Did you hear that?
I love punishing myself.
You need to follow her on Instagram, Periscope, and Facebook as My Pretty Brown Doll and My Crochet Life.
Yes. Because that was under My Crochet Life. If you missed it, you missed a good one yesterday.
You guys should really...
I dropped some nuggets now. Yeah, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one.
You do drop nuggets.
Because there was some really good nuggets in there, and you missed it because it's not even up anymore, because it was in my stories. And it's gone after 24 hours. But all I'm going to say is you really need, if you are in business for yourself and you do not have a daily goal, you need to get you one. And if you're not meeting that daily goal, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And mine is $100 a day. And do you want to know if I made it yesterday? What do you think? You think I did?
Well, I just heard your phone ka-ching today.
That was for today. Did I meet it yesterday?
Well, yesterday was, yes, you met it yesterday.
Did I? Sure?
No, you didn't.
Did.
Oh, you did.
But hold on, it was exactly $100. I was like, well, maybe I should have set the intention for $200, because clearly I aimed too low, because it was exactly $100. I was like, okay, thank you, universe, you heard me. But next time, can we do 2? Maybe.
I meant that's the minimum.
Yeah,
not the
100 plus. But I think when I said my affirmation, I said I will make $100 today. And the universe was like, oh, okay, here you go.
Here you go.
There you go. So it was exactly $100. But,
yeah, give her a follow. She's encouraging, inspiring, and quite entertaining, if you haven't figured that part out.
And this is my Monday voice. So if you follow me, there's another voice that you might need some headphones for. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not always in a restaurant.
Not always in a restaurant.
Sometimes at home.
You do sometimes have to plug in.
Yeah, have to plug in. So if you have sleeping babies,
especially if it's a
pets,
Blackish video that got you all fired up.
Oh, right? Yeah, if I get fired up,
She gets fired
definitely have your headphones.
But that's when you'll fall in love with her. So.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your podcast called? What's the name?
Technically, she's gonna yell at me right now. I really don't have a name for it. I call it the one with PaigeTheFramer.
The one with PaigeTheFramer?
Because there's like 1,000 podcasts out there, so this is the one with PaigeTheFramer.
Oh, that's a good
only
reason.
because I can't figure out a name for it.
Because there's 1,000 podcasts out there.
There's 1,000 podcasts.
The one
This is the one
with Paige and Framer, and today with Yolanda Jordan.
All right, kids. This is it.
This is it.
We are done. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and I'm so glad you got to meet Yolanda. And I'll catch you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Isn't Yolanda great? You guys love her. I love her dearly. So she's a wonderful lady. She's an inspiration for sure and a huge encouragement. If you don't know her yet, you should really follow her. She's a talent and an inspiration. So that was on Thursday. And then we went and stayed with my stepdad and hung out with him for Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday morning, Miller and I drove up to Virginia to my brother's for my youngest nephew Jackson's birthday party. And we stayed there for a couple of days. And I have some footage, very short little snippets of what we have now called this game Nerf Dodgeball.
Sorry.
I didn't say go.
Oh, sorry.
I
Sorry. Alright. Wait, hang on. She's gotta say go.
I have to run away.
That kid's aiming for you.
I know. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. 1.
1.
Oh, 3. You get 5. 4. 5. 6. 2. 2.
So that's 1.
Oh, that's 2.
Okay guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today and watching the video of my week. It was great to be with friends and family this week and to share that all with you guys. Lots going on next week, so I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now. See you later.
I'll edit it. Oh, now it's too close. You dog.
Okay.
All right, we're good.